welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make this two-piece, and the first thing I'm going to be making is the skirt. So for the skirt, you're going to measure around your waist, and you're going to use maybe 3 times your waist measurement or 2.5 times your waist measurement. So for me, I'm using 33 waist, so I'm using 2.5 times of that for the width of this for the girder that I'm going to use for this skirt. That's how I'm going to calculate it. So the next thing I'm going to do, as you can see, I folded this fabric into 2, right? So it's folded into 2 right now. Since it's going to have pockets, what I'm going to do now is to split it into 2 again. So guys, as you can see, the whole fabric I'm using, I've split it into 2, right? So I've split the whole fabric I'm using into 2. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it, and one of it is going to be the back and one of it is going to be the front, right? So there are 2 equal parts now. I'm separating it. Then the one portion that I'm going to use for the back, I'm going to split it into 2 also. So now I'm going to have two back panel and 1 front panel. So guys, I've gone ahead and cut everything. So now I have 2 portions, 2 pieces for the back, 1 and 2, and then I have 1 piece for the front, right? So I just folded it into 2. So this is my length that I'm using here. So my skirt is supposed, this is the full length here. So the skirt is supposed to be like 40 inches of length. But what you're going to do is whatever length you want to use, because my band is going to be 2 inches, right? So I'm going to subtract 2 inches from that whole 40 inches, right? So what I'll have is 38, but to that 38 I'll add 1.5 to it. So 1 inch for folding the end here and half an inch for attaching this part to the band, so that when I join everything together, I'll still end up with my 40 inches. So right now, what I'm going to do is to go ahead and put in the pocket first before putting in my band. So guys, this is my one side of my skirt. So what I'm going to do now is, this is the side, right? So what I'm going to do now is, this is the back panel, this is the one side of the front panel. I've cut my pocket because I'm going to be using a very big and deep pocket for this. So what I'm going to do, this is about a 10 by 11 inches of width. So what I'm going to do here is just put this here, come down 2 inches from this part here. I'm going to just place this here so it's down this way, and then take the other side also, come down 2 inches on the other end here, attach this here. So you see now it's sewn together, and then I'm going to just come down and then close it up all the way and go all the way down and close the side. So guys, this is it here. This will be my center back. This is the front. I've gone ahead and put in my pocket. Like I said, you see, I made my stitch cut. I came down here all the way, closed it up, and then went down all the way down here. But I also came up like about 5 inches to close it up and make room for this part here. So as you can see, my pocket is ready on this side, you see. So it's just for me to iron it. The same thing for this side too. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and put in my band. So guys, I've gone ahead and folded the band I'm using here. If you have your stay and you want your band to be 2 inches, all you have to do is to cut out width of 5 inches, right? So that when you fold it into 2, you have 2.5 on each side, 2.5 on each side, and then you use the other remaining half an inch on each side to tuck it in and iron and sew it, right? So you put in your stay, but since I don't have the stay, so what I'm going to use here is my fabric itself. So the width I'm using here is just like about 9 inches. So I used the fabric here to tuck it in, and then I folded it this way. So now I have my 2 inches here, and then I measured my width, which is round the waist measurement. So what I have here, I'm supposed to use like 33 is the waist I'm working with, but I added about 2.5 inches to it for the zip allowance, right? So the next, if you want, you can just use 2 inches on the dot. If you want, you can use 2.5. It depends on you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold the band into 2, and then I'm going to come in here by half an inch, right? This here It's optional. If you want, you can skip this part, but I like to do it so that your skirt, the band will be fitted on your waist, because sometimes after putting in the band, you notice that the upper part of the skirt is almost like is a little bit slack. But if you do this, if you remove this half an inch here, it helps it fit better. So I'm going to just mark this half an inch and then connect it to the end here. And remember, the half an inch I'm marking is at the upper part of the band, not the lower part of the band, because remember, your waist goes in from the top and then it widens coming down. So that upper part that is going to be at your waist, you have to chip out a little from it, right? So that that part also will be fitted. So this here, I'm going to cut out this half an inch here. So now this is what my band looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead now to the sewing machine, right? What I like to do is I take the band this way and then I mark the center with my chalk. So I know this is the center of this here. So if I fold it into two, I know that this part will be the center. Then the next thing I do is I fold it into, and I fold it again, leaving the zip allowance at the end here, and then I mark that part here, and then I also mark this part here. The next thing I do is I just open it up this way and then take my, so I know that this is going to be the side, this mark here is the center, this is the other side, and then these two ends, these two here are my zip ends here. So what I'm going to do is just to take my main skirt. So guys, as you can see, I notched the center of my skirt, right? You see the notch that I gave it here. So this is the notch, just to know the center halfway from one side of the pocket to the other side of the pocket. So this is the notch here. So how I normally do it so that I can distribute my gather evenly is that I know that this center part here is going to go to the center of my band. So when I go to the sewing machine, I tuck in this part here, and then I know that this side here where my pocket is on this side here is going to fit into this side here, right? So everything between this point here, I'm going to tuck it in between this side and this center half, and then the same thing, the other half here, I know it's going to go to this side here. So that's why it's better to do it so you can be able to distribute it. So guys, apart from that, if you're let me talk about the slit. So if you're going to be using slit, all you have to do is, you know, the center of your skirt, which is the front part, right? This notch that you made here to divide the center of your skirt, right? Then you know which side you want to put your slit, whether it's the left side or if it's the right side. And then you're going to, from that slit, that notch that you made for the center front, you're going to divide this part into two, right? You're going to divide half of the other, maybe the right side, into two. So I know it's going to be on this side. So what you can do at this point is just notch that half this way. You're going to notch it. Let me say it again. So you've notched your center of your, for the center of your fabric, that's from one side of the pocket to the other side. This is the center of your fabric, right? And then you've notched it. So what you're going to do, from that notch that you made at the center, you're going to now fold it again and find the second half of the front panel, so which is this notch that I made here. That's from my pocket to the center of this front panel. So this is the line that you have here. So at this point, you can go ahead and slit it open to the end, right? And then you fold it up to the point where you want your slit to be, right? Let's say this is my second notch. This is the center notch here. So guys, if you look closely, this is my center notch, this is my second notch that I just made. So what you can do is, on this line of the second notch, you can just go ahead and put in your slit, right? You go ahead and cut open this space here, and then just fold it like how you normally fold the end of your clothes, right? Just fold the two ends, and then you're just going to, when you come up here, you just close up the just stop where you want the slit to stop. Let's say you want your slit to stop maybe 13 inches from this point, somewhere here, and then you stop there, close up this part here, and then go ahead and put in your band. Or if you want, the second method of doing this is just like you put in the band first, and then you go ahead and cut it open and put in your slit. So I'm going to use the second method. I'm going to go ahead and put in my band, close up my skirt, put my zip, and then I'll come back and put my slit. So guys, this is how I gather it. So basically, you see, I open this up this way, my band. So all I have to do is just take my fabric, pick it up, and just with my hand, I just gather it with my hand. Just pull it together, pull it like you're scrunching the fabric together, and then you open this up, fit it in here, cover it, and then keep sewing. all you have to bear in mind is to know where. So you see, this is my mark for the center, and then this is my notch for the center. So I just know that once I get to this point, I'm supposed to, this is where this part is going to meet each other. So you see, that's how I'm just going to continue distributing the gather all the way to the end. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead and finished this here. So I've gone ahead and put my zip too. So this is the back. So this is the back, this is my zip here. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead. So the second method of doing it is to go ahead now, spread out your skirt, and then mark from the bottom. You mark your line wherever you want your slit to be, whether it's on this side or the other side. You cut it up to where you want it to be, and then you just fold it the same way you normally fold your ends here. Fold it up to that point, and then you just stitch it up. So you see, my pocket is also, the way I did it, you see my pocket falls just right on the side where my side line is, that mark that I made. You see my pocket is on that line. On this side too, my second pocket is directly on that line. So this is exactly how you distribute the gather. So let me cut open my slit now. So guys, you see I've cut open this here. So the person wants the slit to be from the waist to 10 inches down. So that's what I did. I cut it open. So this is 10 inches distance here. So what I'm going to do, if you want to use this method, is this, the way this is pleated, I'm just going to go ahead and make a stitch all the way down from the inside, right? Just pinch my fabric in, make a stitch all the way down. But before then, I'm just going to go ahead and just fold this way, like how you normally fold the end of your cloth, and sew it down, and then also fold it again, 1, 2, and then sew it all the way down. And then after that, just to make it look neat, I'm going to go in, pinch up this fabric from the top part here, sew it just like how you normally give a dart, right? This is my method, I'm just telling you. So people do it differently. So I just pinch it down, and then just come here and then double stitch it to hold it down. So from the inside, I'll just pin it and then double stitch it, and that's basically it. So guys, you see the line of my slit here? You see the stitch that was made. So you see the line of my slit. It's basically almost the same as the first method, except that my slit doesn't go into the band. I did it after, but the way I sewed it, when I finished putting the band, you would think that this slit goes into the band, but it doesn't. Because see what I did here? I just came in here, you see where, just within one of the pleats from the gather, I just pinched up the fabric and then sewed it in. That's after I folded this band. I followed that same line, went up to the top, and then just stitched it out this way, right? And then just came down here, double stitched it, like came in 2 inches after where this fold from my slit is, double stitched it, and then closed it up. So you see, it's just like a pleat. The slit doesn't go in. If you want, you can do the other method I spoke about, cut it all the way up and then close it back. That one also works. So you see, after that, I just ironed it, and it looks very neat. So this is what it looks like right now. And you see how I said to fold it, just fold it this way, fold it this way. So this is my slit here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.